What do you have to say about some allegations?
Yeah, so the only allegation or accusation that you can find online are from one of our ex-employee, and I'm gonna answer specifically about that. But the other allegation that you can find is payouts. So payouts, we had an issue with our payment processor back in October. So we, like I said, now have a payment plan with everyone. So if you see some allegation from Twitter people, mostly it's on Twitter, that we're not paying our traders, we're not paying our employee, we're not paying that. This is not true. At the moment, if you are an affiliate or an employee or a trader with FPF, you are being paid 100% and on time. The only people that we had an issue, we have a payment plan right now with them. And the reason why that has happened is because in October, we had our payment processor, which is Stripe, that shut down our business, basically shut down the account. That is in their rights. That is not fine, and where they did us wrong and why we will sue them for $1 million and why they really did us wrong. And our ex-employee Ajwad clearly knows that, and he took advantage of this situation to try to steal you guys and us. He did that because basically what happened is we were using his Stripe account. Why we were using his Stripe account? Because in the past, and it comes back to the cancel culture that we're going to talk about in the future, we were having issue with PayPal. We were using PayPal and we had some issue with PayPal. So at the time, we were not able to get some payment processor because it's very hard to get payment processor. And we are from Canada. Our business is based in Canada. And I didn't know at the time, but it's pretty much impossible to get a payment processor in Canada, especially in our industry. But I didn't know that at the time, and I needed a payment processor right away to start accepting payment, and I trusted Ajwat pretty much. Now that we're looking back at it, of course it was not a great move, and I should have done something else, and I should have done something about it before that happened. But basically, and also you got to understand, at that time we were doing maybe six-figure per month, maybe $100,000 per month, not even that. We almost 10x that since then. So it's the big difference doing 70K per month or $700,000 per month. So we got Ajwad as an employee. We start working with him. We worked with him for over a year. We use his Stripe account. Everything was good. And at some point, Stripe started to put 25% of all our revenue on hold for 60 days as a reserve. They're doing that for a lot of accounts that are processing a lot of payments. And sometimes they're doing that just because they don't like the industry, whatever. So every 60 days, they were sending us back our 25% in reserve, which was fine because we were pretty profitable business and I had a lot of money on the side and I was fine with that. And every 60 days, I was using that 25% as profit pretty much. And with the time, the last period, it was starting in September 1st, ending in October 31st. So Stripe shut down our account on October 22nd. So 1 week or 8 days before we were supposed to get our 25% reserve back. Now, at that time, we were growing a lot. So that reserve was 400,000 US dollar. And it was basically in two currency. It was like 238,000 pound and 52,000 US dollars, something like that. So, and we even had some payout because we were doing the payout from Stripe at that time and Wise. But if you guys know, like Wise shut down exactly at that time, all the prop firms account. So we were basically doing our payout from Stripe and they even sent back some payout, canceled them, send it back to Stripe. So the total amount was 400,000 US dollar. And they decided to not give us back, not give us a reserve, hold that money for 120 days. We appealed that decision and it took 2 weeks and they rejected our appeal and they restarted the 120 days after the rejection, which was supposed to be on March 7, 2024, that we would get all that money back. At that time, we had no payment processor. I had a backup payment processor, but for whatever reason, they were not responsive. They took a lot of time to respond, and they never gave us a payment processor. Then after that, I went on a journey to try to get payment processor, and it was so hard, guys. It took us 6 weeks to get some payment processor. I did 15 to 20 different applications, and I ended up having to create a business in the USA, and I was able to get a payment processor in the USA. And now that I have more contact and more information on the industry, and like I said, we're secure, but we literally missed 6 weeks of revenue, which amount to over $1 million in revenue. It was Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And at that time, I didn't stop the account. So people were still able to trade. So if you can just understand some simple business, you can understand that we had no revenue, just crypto revenue, which is less than 10% of our revenue. So like 50,000 per month. We had some accusation that we were going down, that our business was going to go down. We had Ajwad leaving us, but he was leaving us in good term. Everything was all good at that time. And basically, we had to tell our traders at one point, okay, like we are not able to pay the payouts. So we're going to stop processing payout. Everyone that is waiting for a payout at the moment, we are going to pay you in 120 days when Stripe is going to release the fund. So we stopped when we had $400,000 in payout because we had $400,000 in Stripe. So at that time, I said, okay, like we're going to wait 3-4 months. Like it's going to be a lot of backlash and maybe we're not going to survive this, but I have no other solution and I'm doing my best. So that's what we did. To get a payment processor, I put 50,000 US dollar of my own money as a reserve to get a new payment processor so we can restart doing the business. In the month of November, when this trading was stopped, but the revenue was not coming in, I used my own Bitcoin and my own saving account to pay traders payout, to pay my employee salary, to pay for the services and everything. So I definitely did my best. And 2 weeks ago, when we were supposed to get the money unreleased from Stripe, basically Stripe decided to keep the money and legally keep the money. They said, because of our term of services and the agreement you have with us, we're just not going to release the money, which is to me a straight up robbery. So they're literally robbing us $500,000 because they did that with another account under my name with 90,000 US dollar as well. So this is the situation. This is why we got a payment plan with the payouts. So this is the only accusation that you can hear about us. Every single trader that are waiting for a payout, they know when they will be paid. They know that they will be paid. They have an option to be paid faster if they want. We're working with them in a private group. We're communicating with all of them.